Liam here. Trigonometry can be an often confusing subject. I'm here to simplify the basics of sine, cosine, and tangent. By the end of this video, you'll be able to find a missing side in 4 easy steps. This video does assume you know the basics of triangles in algebra. When breaking it down, you'll see it's not as hard as it seems. Before getting into steps, you need to remember SOH CAH TOA. As you can see, it represents sine, cosine, and tangent. Alright, let's get into step 1. First, you need to find the adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the easiest part to find, as you should know the basics of triangles. After finding the hypotenuse, you look at the angle that you're trying to solve for. Let's say the 63-degree angle. It is impossible to do sine, cosine, or tangent from the right angle. The side not connected to the angle is opposite, and the side touching the angle is adjacent. With this information, SOH CAH TOA will make more sense. As you can see, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now that you have found which side is which, we can move to step 2 and find which function is needed. See, in this case, I have the hypotenuse, but need to find the opposite, x. Looking at SOH CAH TOA, you can see sine does the job. Now on to step 3. Now we set up the equation. Just a side note, sine is SIN, cosine is COS, and tangent is TAN on most calculators. So when setting it up, you would get sine 63, since that's our angle, and x over 14, because x is our unknown opposite and 14 is the known hypotenuse. You then need to isolate the variable x by multiplying both sides by 14. Before putting this into your calculator, make sure your calculator is set to degrees. Most calculators are in radian by default, and this will give incorrect answers when doing trigonometry. I'd give directions in this video, but so many calculator models exist, I couldn't give accurate directions for each calculator model. If you aren't sure your calculator is set to degrees, please pause this video and check your calculator's manual or use Google to find instructions. Alright, now back to solving. Now you can move on to step 4 and enter 14 sine 63 into your calculator, which is approximately 12.4741. So now we know x equals 12.4741. That's how simple it is. I'll show you how to solve 2 more. For this triangle, we have the adjacent and we need the hypotenuse. Looking at SOH CAH TOA, we know we need cosine. In this case, we'd start with cosine 43, which is our angle. Then we'd put the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Since the adjacent is 14 and the hypotenuse is unknown, we would write 14 over x. Since x is the denominator this time, when isolating x, you end up with 14 over cosine 43. If you are confused by how we got that, the long way around is thinking of multiplying both sides by x. You would then get x times cosine of 43 equals 14. To solve for x, you would divide both sides by cosine of 43. This is where the 14 divided by cosine of 43 comes from. So when you type this into your calculator, you should get approximately 19.1426. There you go, now another is solved. As a final example, we are trying to find the opposite for the 72-degree angle. We know the adjacent is 18. Consulting SOH CAH TOA one last time, we would know that tangent is what is needed. We know that tangent of 72 equals opposite over adjacent. In this case, x over 18. Now we isolate x just like before and solve. I'll give you a second to try it on your own. Okay, so you should have gotten around 53.3983, and that's it. SOH CAH TOA is simplified. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something new today in a fun and easy way.